All right, Shalom. All praise to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to you, brethren. Hopefully, pushing His word in truth and sincerity. All right, this video here is going to be a purpose. Life is a life of purpose. All right, a purpose. Life is a life of purpose. So, I was just kind of inspired to do this video on this topic here, just kind of going into, finding your purpose, okay? Because the thing is, you will never be satisfied until you find your purpose. And what I mean by that is, you know how in the world they say things like, well, as far as when someone plays sports, such as basketball, football, baseball, soccer, hockey, whatever it is, they say, that was my purpose, so thus I'm fulfilled. They get a type of sensation whenever they're so-called fulfilling their purpose. Well, it's the same thing with us when it comes to serving the Lord, because you could be out in the world, you can be doing all kind of different things, you can be working different jobs, you can be making music, you can be playing sports, we're running businesses, all these different things. But if you're not fulfilling your purpose in which the Lord has chosen for you, you're never going to be fulfilled. And that's the same thing with the Lord. Okay. So I want to look up that word purpose. All right, this is the word purpose. It says, the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Okay, your reason, the reason for your existence is your purpose. Okay. Now, you go into Ecclesiastes 12, where it says, fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So it don't mean that that's all you're supposed to do, is just keep the commandments. But the whole idea of that particular scripture is that your whole purpose is to serve the Lord. That's it. That's actually what we're here for. We're actually here to serve the Lord. Okay, we're not here for our own purpose. We're not here to to become the president. We're not here to to make something out of ourselves. When I say make something out of ourselves, I mean, to set up black businesses, or, become musicians and get into the music industry and change lives and be a therapist. Like that's not our purpose. Our purpose is to serve the Lord. Now, in whatever capacity in which He chooses for you, that's where, some of those different things, might apply to your particular purpose. All right. So we're going to grab a few scriptures on it. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 6. It says, one God, one Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift, and to the measure of the gift of Hamashiach. Okay, every single one of us has gifts. Okay, and we've been given particular measures of talents. And I'm not talking about a singing talent or a dancing talent. I'm talking about a particular measure in which the Lord has given you to to do your work, to do your particular job, to fulfill your purpose. Okay, it says, wherefore He saith, when He ascended up on high, He led captivity captive, and gave gifts unto men. Now that He ascended, what is it but that He also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up from far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. That's the point. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting. What's the purpose of it? The reason why these different offices, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry. That's why I said your whole fear the Most High and keep His commands. This is the whole duty of man. You're here to serve the Lord. You're here for the ministry. Okay. For the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. There it is. All right. It's for the edifying of the body. And so an apostle is not going to be fulfilled unless he becomes an apostle. A prophet is not going to be fulfilled unless he prophesies. Okay. An evangelist is not going to be filled unless they evangelize. A pastor is not going to be filled unless they pastor. And a teacher is not going to be fulfilled unless they're teaching. Okay. They're fulfilling their purpose. All right. It's Amos chapter 3, verse 7 through 8. Surely the Lord power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, will do nothing but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Okay, he reveals his secrets. Okay, he entrusts his prophets with his secrets. Why? Because the prophets are the mouthpiece of the Lord. Okay, when the Lord wants to speak in the earth, he generally does it through his prophets. Okay, verse 8. The lion hath roared, who will not fear? The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hath spoken, who can but prophesy? See? He revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And when the Lord speaks, they can't do nothing but prophesy. It's in them. When the Lord speaks, it's in the prophet to prophesy. Why? Because that's how the Lord speaks in the earth. That is the prophet's purpose. The prophet's purpose is to be the mouthpiece of the Lord. It's to speak his word. That's it. Okay? Let's see. It's Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. I'm going to grab this here. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Let's get that word ordained. Just curiosity. See what it says. Nathan. This is the word Nathan, Strong's H 5414. And it says to give, to put, to set, to give, bestow, to grant, to permit, to ascribe, to employ. So a prophet is an employee of the Lord. That's why he's the mouthpiece. To consecrate, to dedicate. Okay, meaning you were set aside. You were like this particular lot or this particular job has been given unto you. When you ordain something, this has been set aside and set up just for you. All right. But it says, then said I, Lord power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. Remember, he just said he ordained him from before, from while he was in the womb, he was ordained. Okay, and he's saying I can't speak because I'm a child. But check this out. But the Lord said unto me, say not I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. So you may feel like you physically can't do something, but the Lord said he put his words in his mouth. So why? Because he ordained him. He had already set him up to be a prophet. He already set him up for his particular lot or his particular role in this movie, or his purpose is to be a prophet, and that's it. Ain't nothing he can do about it. He can't not be a prophet if the Lord want him to be a prophet. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 7. O Lord, thou hast deceived me, and I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed. I am in derision daily. Everyone mocketh me. So now he's he just complaining to the Lord, talking about how basically how wicked our people are when it comes to the prophets. Because our people don't want to hear correction, which is of the Lord. But he says, verse 8, for since I spake, I cried out. I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me and a derision daily. Okay, so he was constantly being persecuted. He was constantly, they was basically committing acts of violence against him. They were spoiling, they were taking his things, all kind of stuff. So thus, this what he said he was gonna do. Jeremiah, then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. So Jeremiah said, you know what, Lord, since they continue to treat me like shit, just because I'm speaking your word, I'm not even gonna speak your word anymore. I'm not gonna mention your name to these people. I'm not gonna prophesy. I'm not gonna teach. I ain't gonna do nothing to these people anymore, because they don't want to hear it. I ain't finna give it to them. That's what Jeremiah basically said. I'm gonna read again. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in mine heart, as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing and could not stay. So while he tried to not speak in the name of the Lord or not prophesy, once again, a prophet was his purpose. So what the Lord did, he said, I could not stay. He couldn't contain himself. It was like fire shut up in his bones that he had to release. That's how bad he had to prophesy. Why? Because that was Jeremiah's purpose, in which he was set up to do. Okay? And he had to fulfill that purpose no matter what he thought, no matter what he faced. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Okay, if you're a prophet, in the ancient times or in the days of old, you gonna come back as a prophet now. Why? Because that's your role, that's your lot, that's your purpose. Okay, if you was a scoffer back then, you gonna be a scoffer now. Okay, if you was a nigger back then, you're gonna be a nigger now. If you was a heathen back then, you're gonna be a heathen now. Okay, whatever the Lord set up for your role in this movie, that's what you gonna be. Okay, that is your purpose. You know. All right, let's see. It's Daniel chapter 12, verse 13. It says, but go thy way till the end be, okay, for thou shalt rest. And so he's saying, so after Daniel received these visions and the breakdowns and all these different things, he told him to go his way until the end be, for thou shalt rest, meaning he shall die, he shall sleep with his fathers, and stand in thy lot at the end of days. So in the end times, or in the last days, or in the end of days, as it says, he's going to stand in his lot. And what is the lot of Daniel? It was a prophet. His purpose was to be a prophet. His purpose was a prophet then, and he's going to come back and stand in his lot and fulfill that purpose as being that prophet today. Okay? All right, this is Exodus chapter 4, verse 8. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, this is the Lord speaking unto Moses, just give you the background and context. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon dry land. So that was another miracle that the Lord was going to allow Moses to do, just to show proof unto the people, unto the Hebrews at the time that was in captivity, that hey, the Lord, the Father of the power of the God of your fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, is who sent me to deliver you out of these captivity under these Egyptians, out the hand of these Egyptians. Okay. And it says, Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent. Okay. Neither heretofore nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. So Moses was letting the Lord know, you telling me to go and not only speak to Pharaoh and be a mouthpiece for you, but you telling me to talk to these people. You putting me as the head or as the leader of all these people. He's like, I can't, Lord, I can't do that. I can barely speak. I'm not real eloquent. I'm not good with words. I'm a plain man. Then he says I got a slow tongue, so I might kind of stutter when getting things out. And verse 11, and the Lord said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb or the deaf, or the seeing or the blind? Have not I, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua? And it says, Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. So the Lord says, go and do what I tell you to do, and I'm gonna be with you, and I'm gonna set it up for you. I'm gonna let you know what you need to say. Don't even worry about that. And then so he responded back, and he said, O my Lord, send I pray thee by thine hand of him whom thou wilt send. All right. And it says, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? So the Lord, he said, okay, is not Aaron your brother? And Moses, hold on, where am I at? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well, and also behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. So he's saying, I know Aaron can speak well, so when he comes, matter of fact, he's coming right now. He gonna be glad to see you. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. So he's saying you're gonna speak to him, and then put words you. So basically, you're gonna tell him what I'm telling you, and I'm gonna be with both you and him, and he's gonna speak for you. Verse 16, and he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of power. Okay. So he's saying, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up Aaron. He's gonna speak for you. Since you're not eloquent, since you're hard in speech, Aaron is gonna do the speaking, and then you're gonna let him know what he need to say. Okay, the same way I'm putting my words in your mouth and telling you what to say is the same way you're gonna put the words in Aaron's mouth and instruct him on what to say. Okay, so once again, it don't matter that Moses felt like he couldn't do it. The Lord chose him to do it, and that was his purpose. And and he would not have been fulfilled unless he carried out his purpose, because ultimately that was he was there for. He wasn't there to be to live amongst the Egyptians or live a good life or live a rich life, because he had that. Okay, that wasn't for him. That was not his purpose. His purpose was to literally be the deliverer, for the Israelites out of the captivity of the Egyptians. Okay, the Lord was supposed to use him. Okay, that was his purpose. Okay, so like I said, just got a few examples on just that purpose thing, because like when you come into this thing, you must understand that this is your purpose. You find out that your purpose is not a carnal thing. Your purpose is not of the world. Okay, your purpose is to serve the Lord in whatever capacity that he has you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a prophet, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a leader, okay, whether you're a help, whether you're a giver, whether you put up brothers, help them out in all kind of, whatever kind of ways, whatever it is that the Lord has for you in your particular capacity to serve him, that's You need to. That's your purpose, and you won't be fulfilled in this thing until you find that out. Okay, so call on Yahweh Bashim Awashai Bashim Akak Wadash. I hope you're edified. Shalom.